some of us would call a PSosa even. But somehow he flipped a switch and he just started winning absolutely everything. So since we're talking about him, let's go ahead and introduce the pink Zerg player spawning for Team All Inspiration on Deadwing. This is PSosa.
And in the top right of Deadwing from Team Composite, it is TUX. I like that he's changed his name to TUX. I'm a fan of that.
Yeah, it's a pretty
It's
funny
different.
name for sure.
I giggled when I saw that. I actually didn't believe, like, because I saw the name change, right? And I was like, I actually messaged the Composite captain. I was like, he didn't really change his name to that, did he? And it's like, yeah, no, he seriously did. He really loves it. I'm like, right, fair enough.
It's like
Tip of the cap
he
to you,
really
sir.
loves it. Actually, you have to call him Tuxarino now. He'll get really upset if we just call him Tux. So
I feel like I'm gonna have to call him Tux anyway, because Tuxarino is just a mouthful every single time I have to say his name.
yeah, well, speaking of Tuxarino, we did a little bit of an intro on PSosa. Tuxarino, or Tux for short, has some of the best TVT micro I've seen, or sorry, not TVT, Terran micro I've seen in terms of CTL here. There are some players who are close to him, but Reaper control is pretty damn good for Tux.
Yeah, he controls his army quite well, which is good.
Mhm.
Good Terran players do control their army well. That, or they decide to play mech and don't worry about micro at all. That's kind of the difference with Terran players. They're either like really good at micro and play bio and just godlike, you could say, or they play mech like me or metalcore just because we have terrible micro and it's the only way we can win a game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Terran micro is really tough for sure. To be able to handle Reapers and splitting Marines and doing drops all well, building your base back at home as well. It's definitely tough. So the good players really shine when you can see them doing that type of thing. It does look like we're going to be opening up with a Reaper coming out of Tux. Just for scouting, I don't think he's going to go for the second Reaper. It doesn't mean it's impossible, but getting the gas on 12 usually means he's going to try to get an expansion and then probably a reactor.
Yeah. No depot yet either. That second depot is really the obvious tell on whether or not they're going to build more stuff out of the barracks. Otherwise, he's going to be brutally supply blocked. And I think he's good enough that he realizes he probably needs that depot to be not supply blocked.
Right,
Against the
yeah.
hatch first. Gasless still out of PSosa as well.
Yeah, he's playing really safe. He's got a scouting drone, just looking for any sort of bunker. I wonder. The one thing I know about PSosa is he's come prepared. He's been practicing his ZVT all week, and he doesn't want to die to anything silly like a bunker rush. But I like that you pointed out the gasless here. It looks like he's going to be opening up with a lot of drones and probably 4 queens, and then be moving into his gas to get some roaches, I would guess.
Yeah, no SCV scout from Tux either. He's just assuming it's cross position. The Reaper's guessed right. Which is good. He's going to get in here. Sees the lings. Might even get a ling kill or two here. He's going to stay on the edge of this creep. Doesn't want to really commit too hard to creep. Especially with no second Reaper follow-up. Can't really afford to lose this guy. Pretty good micro so far. Gets 1 kill.
Yeah, he's been playing pretty well so far. He hasn't dipped in to see the gases yet. Oh, and that Reaper's getting dangerously low, but he does get away. Very nice.
Yes, very nice indeed. Yeah, needs to probably let this heal up and then probably just duck it in about a minute or so time. Try and get it to scouting intel. Second Reaper is here though. Quite late on the second Reaper.
Yeah,
I'm
that was a
surprised
little
he
bit. Looks like he's going to go into a fast third base here. And PSosa has the beginnings of a 1-1 roach push here, which is pretty interesting. I really like that play, especially against a fast third command center. It could really do some damage here. And PSosa is moving and Overlord in position to be able to spot that shortly.
2 Reapers here. They should kill most of these lings. It's going to force a round of lings out of PSosa, I think.
Yeah, PSosa definitely does not want to be making Zerglings right now. He is going to lose absolutely all of them. And now, his Queen's actually a little bit out of position. They're going to drop a drone to these Reapers. A second drone going to be going down as well. This is not the greatest for PSosa. But 1 queen, 2 queens, 3 queens all in the main now. Going to be able to force those Reapers away.
Yep. And he's seen the lack of gas in the main as well. He has at least that little bit of intel. Might poke it at the front of this natural here, see if he can pick up some gas geysers.
So only 2 gas going down here for PSosa, and he does drop the Roach Warren first. It's getting into the 7-minute mark now, and he hasn't started a lair yet, which I mean, if he starts it by around 7 minutes, that's pretty standard. But if it goes much longer, it's going to be kind of late for a lair. He's actually pumping out 5 roaches here, nice and early.
Yeah, the roach one was spotted by Tux. I'm not sure if he clicked on it. Only really saw the edge of it. So he's only just seen the building making. Not really much more it could be. That could be a baneling nest at Evo Chambers, I guess, but might feel confident that he's a roach warren. Just getting Starport on that tech lab, probably for Banshees, and building Marauders straight away. So probably is confident it's going to be roaches.
Yeah, and he's making a good switch here to prepare for the roaches here. Banshees will be, at least one will be on the way, or at least out by the time these roaches show up, as well as probably a couple Marauders. I'd like to see a bunker go down maybe to prepare for this a little bit more. As it looks like, Couchy, are you here? Oh no. Usually I play the role of person who drops out in the middle of a cast. Well, we'll have to wait for Mr. TB Ham's decision whether or not we're just going to play it out or if we're going to just keep going. Okay. Gauchi was a good pal. All right, so we're going to go ahead and continue then. I'm not sure if the stream can hear you, TB Ham, but I heard you, so we'll go ahead and continue without Couchy. He'll probably just jump in with me halfway through and maybe watch it from the stream or something. All right, the countdown is out. We are waiting to kick Couchy out, and there he goes.
Game paused.
TB Ham making sure the players are ready to go. PSosa is good. TUX is good, and we can continue on as the roaches move across the field here. Hellions know this is coming back at home, so we do see a bunker getting started. A second bunker might actually be pretty good as well. Maybe a little bit overkill, but perhaps, I mean, it's better to over-defend than to under-defend, I think, when you have this many roaches coming back. And PSosa lair is just about finished. He's following up with his 4th gas here. He's getting a 3rd base behind it as well, with the 5th and 6th gases going down also. As the roaches are catching some of these Hellions out of position, those Hellions are actually completely trapped there. They're going to have to wait a while. These Reapers are going to go down as well. And the defense here is literally just one bunker. PSosa needs to get his roaches together and actually do some consolidated damage here. But the Banshee is out and it's going to start picking away here. PSosa doesn't really want to completely commit to this, and now that the SCVs are repairing the bunker, he's actually not going to be able to take this bunker out.
You know, behind all of this, he does actually have a Spire building up, so he's got a transition planned, and showing the amount of roaches that PSosa has shown already, Tux probably is going to be thinking that he's going to be seeing a bunch of mutas flying in about 3 or 4 minutes time. So it's a pretty smart transition out of PSosa. Curious how well his economy is going to be able to handle it. However, I mean, this 3rd base is, he has the gases on it, but nothing to really speak of mineral wise out of there. So the Hellions moving across the map now for Tux as well, going to poke in, and well, they're not going to really see anything. So still, this is going to be up to Tux to actually scout this out and see what he can figure out and how he can defend against this muta switch that's coming up.
Yeah, I actually wouldn't be surprised to see a scan drop down sometime soon to get a look at that, because he's pretty in the dark now. He knows about the roaches, but that's about it. Although he did just scout the 3rd base. PSosa does have Overlords in position. I believe he just went in and he saw the 3rd command center, so he knows pretty much what he's up against here, which is going to be straight up bio play coming out of Tuxarino.
Yeah, Tux. Tuxarino. That name just, it still cracks me up. But 2 Banshees back to the 3rd base, but there is already a Spore Crawler set up and ready to go. 10 mutas on the way. More curious if there's actually an Overseer on the map, which there actually isn't. So I don't even, actually doesn't even have Cloak in the first place. He doesn't have Cloak in the first place, so it doesn't really matter. Once those mutas pop, these Banshees will either die or just be completely ignored, and those mutas are just going to fly directly across the map and be a complete surprise to Tux, because he hasn't seen anything. He's about to fly in with the Banshees and see this Spire. Yeah, and that's going to be his first whiff of something is actually up. And he's going to start preparing for this back home, but mutas are already rolling in.
Yeah, and turrets have not even started yet, so the mutas are just gathering outside. They want to get in a bit more of a bigger clump here. Going to pick off a couple medevacs, actually. That's a nice pickup here. Well, 1 medevac going down at least, and going to go ahead and do some damage to these reactors. Not too sure I like that decision because the Marines are here and they're going to shoo these mutas away as 2 mutas go down pretty quickly there, and they get shooed away pretty easily from Tux. He took minimal damage there.
Back home, these Banshees are being pretty annoying. Actually, one of those Banshees had 8 kills. I think that was from the Roaches earlier. And I think they may have actually just picked up... Well, they picked up the Geyser, which is a thing. I think they may have killed a Queen as well. But PSosa is still just being really annoying with the mutas, keeping all this army for Tux back. And he's actually still going through Roaches, so... a Roach muta composition, obviously not something that gets done that often, so... He's just forcing Tux to kind of... It's not a huge tech switch for Tux to switch back between, you know... Roach defense and muta defense, but still, it is something he has to deal with.
Yeah, and we can see a tank out on the map as well for Tux, which is going to be pretty helpful against the Roaches. The one thing here, though, is Tux is 1-1 just finished, and PSosa hasn't even thought about starting upgrades yet. So as the game goes on, PSosa is going to really have to start to get some damage done, because otherwise the bios is going to be too strong for Tux. And we can see the Roaches actually moving all the way across the map now, so getting ready. PSosa doing a good job with these mutas, keeping the Marines in the main base, but it looks like they sniffed something out here as they're actually going to go into position to land this third base.
Yeah, this is a lot of Roach supply that's actually moving across the map right now, and really, Tux does not have that much. If these mutas are able to pick up this +2 attack as well, it'll be absolutely huge. A lot of minerals being flooded right now for PSosa, but he's actually maxed out on just nothing but Roaches. These Roaches have no upgrades right now, but there's just so freaking many of them. They're going to roll on in here into this natural base. Only a bunker and a few bio units here, and Tux is going to call GG now.
Wow, that was insane. The door was open for PSosa just to move on through, and when Tux saw the amount of Roaches on the map, that he was like, yeah, there's absolutely no way I can deal with this. That was really interesting play there from PSosa. He maxed out so quickly. I didn't expect that.
Yeah, it was strange. Just getting gonna get Couchy back into this. I believe he said he's back. He said he had a blackout actually, so that happened. He's actually still in the party, so that's actually pretty impressive.
The connection holds true through the blackout. So we'll get Couchy in here very soon then.
Yeah, maybe at least. At least it's
maybe
he might be watching the game and not paying attention to the fact that Skype is calling him. But map two is gonna be on Overgrowth actually, so we'll get that set up, get in the game 2 here shortly, and hopefully with Couchy instead of my voice, because I was not expecting to start talking today.
Yeah, you kind of ninja'd right in there. To be honest, I'm not sure if you actually told me you were coming in or if you told me Couchy was coming in, but all of a sudden you were there, and I was happy. So, well done.
Yeah, these things kind of happen sometimes. I kind of had to do this on Thursday with that initial cast there. I guess Couchy may not actually be in game.
Well, what do we think then? We want to move on to game number 2, or do we want to
okay,
give him a minute?
is.
Okay.
So someone just hasn't accepted the party invite. There we go. Awesome. Is he back in Skype? He's getting back in Skype.
What's up?
Awesome.
I'm back.
All right, I'm gone. Bye.
See you later, Ham. Thank you for stepping in, though. Sorry about that, Couchy. That sucks. I was saying to the stream, usually I'm the person that happens to right when a stream starts, too. So I don't like pass on the curse to you.
Yeah. There's like a repair guy in my house right now, but he's like fixing the windows or some shit. I went out and asked him, "Did you cut off my power?" It's like, no. So I went out to the box and apparently something got fucking switched off or something, but I'm back now. Hopefully it doesn't happen again. Fingers crossed.
All right.
Someone's getting a rude call. It does, that's for sure.
All right. Well, I'm not sure if you caught the end of that game, but PSosa had a really nice build that actually didn't include any upgrades. Just about 12 mutas or so, harassing the main and keeping Tux back at home. Well, meanwhile, PSosa built up like 7 million Roaches with Roach speed and just moved into the natural, and then Tux just GG'd right away. So PSosa takes the first map, and he's going to have a 1-0 lead going into this round of 8. As we spawn on Overgrowth for game number 2, we are looking at the yellow Terran in the top right corner. Currently down 0-1. Let's see what he can do to bring this back in his favor. It is Tuxerino for Team Composite.
And in the bottom left from Team All Inspiration, up 1-0, it is PSosa.
So I got to mention that when that game was finished, I got a little message from PSosa that said secret build number 1. So let's see what he has planned here for game number 2. I mentioned at the start of last game that he's very prepared. He's been practicing all week, only wanting to play with our Terrans, and pretty much just trying to concoct the perfect best of 5. Game number 1 worked out in his favor for sure. But that's not to say that Tuxerino hasn't been doing the same thing himself. We'll have to see what he has to follow up here. Doesn't want to go down 0-2 to PSosa.
Yeah. 4-0-3. I like that PSosa like has a plan. I'm the biggest fan of that. That was what like ideally we envisioned when like TB Ham started this tournament. It's like the players would just take this stuff kind of pseudo seriously. Like there's money on the line for the winner of this. The winner of this is in the money. So this is I'm not playing for nothing here at all.
No, and even still, even if there wasn't any money, I mean, this is the CSL or the Chobo Star League as a whole is just such a great idea to combine the best players from it's like an all-star tournament, right? And each one counts towards the end of the year where we have like the final CSL, kind of like BlizzCon, and that's going to be so epic. I'm really excited to see that as PSosa is actually getting pool and then gas before hatchery.
Yes. Looking for a very early speed, possibly even early roaches. We shall see how much gas he mines. There's Tuxerino getting out a Reaper, probably going to get out multiple Reapers this time as well. That earlier supply depot. Nice and safe. Let's probably get in the face of PSosa. But if he gets that quick speed, it's going to shut it down very quickly.
That's a really good point, actually, because I was going to mention that. I think... not to say anything bad about Tux's macro, because obviously he's a diamond player. He's got good macro as well, but I really do think that his micro is where he excels. But if we have speed already on the way here, and it's just going to be speed, by the way, as PSosa pulls out of gas, he's going to have a hard time doing any damage when the speedlings are out on the map.
Yeah,
and it's going to be... like he sort of realized that. He's making extra Reapers as well.
Yeah, if he loses all these Reapers early though, he's going to be in for a world of hurt. We'll see this pool wiggling pretty early into the piece though. I'm pretty sure he should have spotted that there. Did see the pool. Not sure if he saw it wiggling. I'm going to assume he did.
Yeah, probably. We don't see a third Reaper coming out, although the gas just isn't really there yet. So we'll see if it's going to be a reactor, if it's going to be a Reaper, and it is indeed a reactor. And I like this play because Hellions are going to do pretty good against Speedlings. Yeah. And he's going to stay active with these Reapers just to make sure he knows what's going on.
Queen getting quite adventurous, trying to push these guys back. He's going to get whittled down a little bit here. Let force the Lings to react. Doesn't want to lose his Queen.
Oh, no.
It's pretty huge.
Oh!
Does get the Queen. For a Reaper.
It's going to be 2 Reapers here in a second as speed finishes off. But what do you think? Do you think that's a fair trade there for either of them, or what do you think?
Yeah, I like getting the Queen, to be honest. Like losing the Reapers kind of hurts because it makes the follow-up attack with Hellions a little bit weaker. Mm-hmm. And now you've got nothing on the high ground until these Hellions pop out, which is kind of unfortunate. But getting the Queen really hurts. It stops creep spread. It stops the injects, and it's just they're so vital to the Zerg. I think. Losing a Reaper there, losing 2 Reapers there. It's not ideal, but I think it's a good trade. And you can repair these bunkers up. It's not busting down here. The bigger issue now is he has zero idea if PSosa is stealing gas. He has dropped back into gas. He has no idea if it's gone quick lair after the Ling speed or anything like that. Just loses all scouting intel from losing those Reapers.
Yeah, for sure. PSosa is getting a second gas geyser as well.
And throwing down a Retron.
Yeah, that's a good play here. From PSosa, he knows Hellions are on the way now. Also getting a Baneling nest. Oh, we're going to see... Oh, this is going to be a Roach Bane bust. And this is going to be so exciting to watch here. It's going to need to be a great hold from Tuxerino. And right now, I mean, he went for a 3rd command center. He's getting the orbital. He's not going to have a lot of production to really deal with this. I mean, Hellions are going to melt. He can make Marauders, which is really what he's going to need. But he's also going to need some bunkers, too.
He had to rally over to check the 3rd. And he's just missed it now. He's going to check. Oh, he keeps rallying over to those minerals and then changes his mind at the last minute to catch these Lings. But he could have seen these Lings. He's moving these Hellions all over the place, trying to find the Lings, but he hasn't been able to find them yet. He's probably assuming they're not at that location now either, because he has pseudo checked his third base.
Yeah, that was a while ago, though. I mean, at this point, if the Zerg player doesn't have a third base yet, then you know absolutely that something's up here. But
Yeah.
he hasn't really been there in a while. He's going to be swinging around now, and he's going to get a look, and then he's going to know definitely something's up. But the roaches are already on the way, and we're going to see the defense start prepping here for Tux. I'd like to see a couple more bunkers going down for real, as now the Hellions did actually spot the roaches.
Yeah, it could have been mutas before then. He didn't know for sure that it was going to be roach bust, but now he does.
It's true.
Emergency preparation in place. Banelings have started from PSosa. Really wants the Hellions fighting the Banelings. That's in an ideal world.
All right, here we go. The Banelings are going to be walking in here. They're focusing the bunker down. Bunker does go down. There it goes. And oh my god, before any other damage gets done, the G comes out of Tux, and he's got to be frustrated now. The Roach Bane bust didn't even really get the bust at all before the GG came down here. And that's putting Tux in a really, really tough spot here. PSosa has the right builds right now.
Yeah, caught with his pants down there. Goes the quick 3cc, and PSosa makes him pay.
Mm-hmm.
Denies the Hellions. Sorry, go.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I think it took Tux a little bit too long to scout out that third base once and for all to really get an idea of the all-in that was coming out of PSosa there. And, you know, that scouting is, like, you talk to anybody and you're trying to say, like, okay, how do I get better at StarCraft? It's always scouting. Everyone always starts off with scouting. And that's it right there. So
Scouting's half the battle. If you know what's coming, it's infinitely easier to hold anything. Like, no matter your skill level, if you have any idea what's coming at you, it's just so much easier. But that was the disadvantage of sacking in on that queen to try and get it, is he lost his scouting, didn't see the main base, didn't swing around to the third base. The Hellions had to stay back a lot longer because there were a bunch of speedlings out on the map.
Yep.
So all this kind of led to...
It was really well thought out from PSosa there, and I mean, the score is showing that preparation is really kicking in here. And again, I don't want to say that Tux hasn't prepared. I know for sure that PSosa has. He's a teammate of mine. I'm sure Tux has been practicing as well, but PSosa is just picking the right builds here. And now, being up 2-0, I'm really interested to see what he's going to come with in this game on Catalina.
Yeah, does Tux cheese? Does he play super safe? Does PSosa just go super greedy here, knowing he's got a couple of games up his sleeve, try and get away with some economical greed? Or does he just go full-on aggression? Full-on
I don't know, man.
build?
That's the beauty of a best of 5 here. So let's go ahead and get started as we introduce the Yellow Terran, currently down 2-0 in this round of 8 series in the Chopo Star League. His name is Tuxarino from Team Composite.
And from Team All Inspiration, the Zerg player, PSosa.
So let's
I'd
go
like
back
to see
in.
PSosa. Cheese. Just cheese the hell out of him here. Yeah. Just completely
I don't
cheese.
know. PSosa doesn't strike me as a very cheesy player. I haven't really seen him pull it off too much. Yeah, I mean, who knows? That could work. But if you're Tux and this is your last life in the CSL and you made it this far, you don't really want to just throw things away and play unsafe and loot. Because, I mean, PSosa has been really aggressive, right? Game number 2 was specifically designed to base all in to deal with a 3 command center type play. So I would be surprised if Tux went for a 3rd command center again here.
Maybe he's just going to go the Tasia route from BlizzCon, where he's just going to 3cc or die trying. Just no matter what, just going to continually go the quick 3cc's. Just hope for the best.
It could be, for sure. We do see the 11 gas, 11 racks here, so he's definitely going to be shooting out 3 Reapers. And this is the type of play I expected to see coming out of Tux right from the get-go, just based on the games that I've seen him play before. So I'm giving him a slight nod right now, just looking at his opening. But actually, once again, we have the pool and gas before hatch here from PSosa, so never mind, forget what I just said, because PSosa is going to be ready for it.
Yeah, super ready and prepared for these Reapers coming. You have to use Queens and maybe a drone or 2 just to defend until the Lings go out. I imagine he probably won't build any Lings until he gets 100 gas. Ready to go.
We got a second barracks coming down from Tux, and the Overlord is sneaking in here. If he can see this second barracks, he's going to know exactly what to do. And that's going to
If
put
he's on
Tux
that route, is he going to see it? It's going to be so very close. I think he might just miss it. Oh, he's just changed his path. Oh wow, he's gonna see it.
He sees it. Oh man, Tux is in a really bad spot here. Now it doesn't mean that the game is over, but I mean, well, the orbital's starting now. I was gonna say, I wonder if there's some sort of like all in that involves not getting an orbital because he wasn't getting it for a little bit there, but he
Surely.
does have it now. SCV is here, and this is a cool play if he can keep this SCV alive. I've seen Terran players sort of use it as like a tank to tank the damage for the Reaper. He's actually just going to
or
go ahead and
even
build a bunker.
throw a bunker, yeah. There's PSosa to throw down the spine here. Having seen that second barracks, he must assume there's going to be a significant amount of Reapers coming.
I think
Spine
so.
calls are good.
I would like to see a spine go down, that's for sure. But it looks like he's going to try to hold it off with just lane. Speed is on the way. And if he can pick off that SCV, that's going to be huge. It's actually like, I don't know if it's worth it to lose the queen for the SCV, but oh, the bunker doesn't finish. That's insanely bad for Tux now because his Reapers don't have a place to hide. Although this is Catalina,
Yeah.
so off the ramp.
Yeah, it's this build, like, it's still very potent, but it's nowhere near as potent because he doesn't have that place just sort of for complete safety in the bunker.
Back at home for Tux, it's literally still just the two barracks just spitting out Reapers here. So this is definitely pretty all in here. I mean, I suppose he can try to macro out of this, but he's put himself so far behind already. The Speedlings are out on the map, and I mean, these Reapers with two queens in support as well, I can't see them doing a lot of damage.
PSosa might not even make any more lings from this. He's got a couple of queens. If he can just buy time until link speed's done before these Reapers kill them. There is link speed done. You're getting sandwiched a little bit here. Queens are on the ramp, ready to pick him off. Reapers turn around and go home though. This is shut down pretty hard. CC only just starting now.
Yeah, and once again, we have, like you said, we have PSosa just droning up. He made the decision at the right time to just go ahead and make some drones. He doesn't need any more Speedlings, and now he can go into another, you know, another Roach Bane bust if he wants. We'll see. He's got, he definitely has something planned here, so we'll see what he decides to do. He did lose all the links, though. That wasn't the greatest.
He might be able to get a little bit greedy here and not build any more lings though. He is build round of 10, playing super safe. Because I like, as a Terran player, do you really send the Reapers out and just hope that the Zerg didn't build more lings? Like, I think PSosa might have been able to get away with a round of drones there. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's true.
Third CC.
Oh, he's good. Doing it again. All right, well, where is the Overlord? The Overlord is literally deciding to go in and look at this right now, and he's going to spot the three command centers once again. And a third base not even started yet for PSosa. He's going up to Lair, and he's getting a Roach Warren. So I think we're going to see another speed Roach type play for sure here. I mean, why not? There's three command centers. There's only one factory. There is two barracks this time, which is going to be a little bit more helpful for Tux, though.
Yeah, and he does have the high ground from this wall. And the wall is a little bit smaller to wall off than the natural. But this Overlord is seeing everything. He knows exactly where he is at in this game. I like that he spread creep on this high ground in his main as well. It's really shutting down these Reapers pretty hard.
Absolutely. Getting the timing on the starport there is super key. And we'll have to see. I mean, we got 4 Overlords pumping out now. The Roach Warren, or sorry, the Lair is done. He's getting Overlord speed as well. Still no third base. I mean, I'm a little nervous about how long it's taken him to get a third base and the fact that he hasn't been making units yet.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised. He really could have thrown down the third and just gone straight into a macro game. I don't think he needed to force the issue here. I mean, he's seen the 3 CC, so maybe he feels like he needs to get something done.
Yeah.
He was in quite a lead. He's got a lot of queens here as well. It's not like he's trying to end the game.
Yeah, well, he's got the lead for now, but the Terran player Tux does have 3 orbitals now, dropping mules like crazy. And
Overlord drops. Overlord drops.
Oh, no.
He's ventral sex.
Really?
Yeah.
PSosa's feeling pretty confident, I think. That is all right. Well, let's see how that turns out for him. I'm actually getting more and more optimistic for Tux as this game goes on here because this is quite the investment for something that like no one really does, and there's a reason for it.
It's an interesting choice. I assume it's not a mistake. Yeah, Overlords are now following up. He's just gonna drop in, probably
Oh, that is
to the left of the main. He's gonna knight
getting a
us as
Nidus.
well. Probably for
Yeah,
the
so
queens, I imagine.
this is a super tricky play here coming out of PSosa, and I don't know. I mean, Tux has done a pretty good job catching back up in this game. The worker count is evening out a little bit, actually, considering the fact that PSosa's just not making drones anymore. He's happy with his 2 base income here. As the Roaches are trying to bust up the natural here, there is a Banshee picking them away, and the SCVs are repairing the bunker here. Roaches are not going to be able to get a lot of damage done. In fact, most of them are actually just going to go down here.
Yeah, needs to focus the SCVs if possible.
He's not doing that. Instead, he's just... Oh, but look at this. The Overlords have grouped up here. Drops are finished, and there's going to be like 5 Roaches going into the main here through the Overlords.
Yeah, the Banshees might think they're safe now to go across the map, but they are not. Banshee does change direction.
Here we
Nidus
go.
is coming
Nidus.
down. It is spotted.
It is indeed. If
Needs
he
to
would focus
the
down
Nidus.
that...
Focus the
Yeah.
Nidus. There he goes. I don't think it's going to get off.
It's a really ambitious play coming out of PSosa here. This is getting cleaned up very easily.
So much gas investment into this. The Niduses, the drops, the speed, the Roaches. It's just not paying off at all. And all of a sudden, PSosa doesn't have a third. It's even on workers. No upgrades to speak of in the slightest.
Nope. He's going to drop another Nidus outside the front here of the natural, and I think that's a good idea. I mean, at this point, you might as well just put everything you can into it. Overlord is spotting these Banshees, by the way, coming through over to the main, so Spore should go down, but is not. And PSosa is just going to slam his face right up against the defense here in the natural and see if he can get something done here.
The best thing about this
SCVs
is going to be the creep. A lot of SCVs off the line. Need some Bailings. Bailings would have been brilliant with this attack as well. A lot of Roaches though.
There is a
Queens.
ton of Roaches and a bunch of Queens as well. Overseer also to scout in case Cloak was a thing, but these bunkers are not going down. The SCVs are doing a great job repairing, and so many Roaches have died. There's a few Roaches in the back here that weren't part of the attack as well. All the Queens getting cleaned up, and Tux has made a really nice hold here and is in a really good position to go on and take the rest of this game.
Yeah, just stim Marines, bunkers, repair. He only lost 3 SCVs with that attack as well. He's going to load up and drop now. Feeling pretty confident.
Yeah, absolutely. It's time for him to put on some pressure now. PSosa lost all of his army units, and he's going to be on the defensive now. I wonder, he does try to take a third base here. That's actually about to finish up. And I don't know, he's going to try to see if he can wiggle himself out of this tough position he's put himself in.
Yeah, he's just got nothing to deal with this drop at all. The rest of his army is on the other side of the map. Just Marines get fully unloaded. The Roaches are just so far away. There's a Queen here. A lot of drones going to go down. Probably even the hatch. Maybe the pool.
Yeah, definitely. The Roaches are trying to respond here, but that is a lot of stim bio here. Queens go down, and it looks like he's just going to drop into the natural here. He's stimming quite a bit. Once these Roaches catch up, they'll be able to do some damage, but Tuck's going to pick up and get on out of there.
Banshee here. There's still no spores. Banshee can just sit here and kill stuff. And Queen is moving up here. No, change his mind. Queen, there you go. Banshee is going to fight now. Nice.
Yeah, I would have
Tuck's just
liked
building
to
up
see.
quite an army back at home.
Yeah, he is. Now he's the one who's going untouched, right? He can just do whatever he wants. He's getting tanks. His third command center could lift off and start up an actual third base here pretty soon. And yeah, this is so many Marines. The drop is still doing damage here, still picking off some drones here, but finally the Roaches are actually going to be able to persuade these medevacs from staying in this position. Going to leave a couple Marines behind.
Single Corruptor on the way. Not sure if that was intentional or not. He has finished his Spire. And he's thrown down a 4th as well, and he's starting to saturate both his 3rd and 4th base. If he can get up to like a 70 drone count, if Tux can let him. I don't think Tux will let him though. He's got this army moving across now. He's cleaned up the creep outside his front. A couple of tanks with this army as well. No combat shields finished yet. The old 16-minute combat shield timing out of Tux Arena.
That's a little bit late, but Tux is doing a really good job here, picking off all these Overlords that are out across the map here. PSosa actually supply blocked at the worst moment now because he needs to be able to produce Lings and banelings here so he can push back this attack. His
Yeah.
creep spread, though, really paying off over here, like you mentioned at the start of the game.
He's got tanks on the low ground to defend this, though. It's going to be real hard for PSosa to push this away effectively.
Yeah, that Corruptor is not going to be enough to take out those medevacs, so we'll see here. Finally, the 5 Overlords are finishing up, and he's going to be able to pump out some lings. The Baneling Nest is done with Bane Speed as well, so if he has some time to morph some Banelings here, that'll be really good. But nice job by Tux moving up a little hit squad of Marines onto the natural.
And the third and the fourth. He's everywhere at the moment. He's attacking in 4 locations.
That is ridiculous. PSosa really getting torn apart a little bit here. He does push back the main and the natural. He's going to be rolling on into the third base here. Actually, it looks like he's just forgetting about... Okay, no, never mind. He's going into the third with these Banelings, and these Marines don't have any support, but wow, are they ever strong.
Yeah, a lot of worker damage there. 24 going down. He's still got this army positioned outside the main, with these 2 tanks as well on the low ground. It's going to be super hard for Tux to engage. He's running out of Banelings. He has 3 Banelings at the moment.
Yeah, and his economy
not
is just shot. Absolutely. So Tux is really in a super good position here. His third base is mining now. He's dropped a 4th as well. Upgrades are still going. +2 attack about to finish here shortly. Coming in with another drop. The Roaches are in position here. So that's not going to do too much damage, but I mean, PSosa is not very well defended anywhere else.
No. Tux can just rally up and send out another drop at the third and the fourth again. Just keep doing damage. He's going to fall back, probably group up his army here. He's probably got enough in army supply really just to force the issue. There's no Banelings at all. He's morphing a few now, is PSosa. Just not enough.
No, not at all. He's got a lot of gas, but really not enough minerals to support it. He should actually be pulling those drones out of the gas geysers in the main here, try to get some extra minerals. I mean, he's got 1,200 gas. He doesn't need that much at this point. But here we go. We're going to be seeing the final engagement most likely here as PSosa tries to get a good concave down here on the low ground, but the Banelings are dying before they even hit the Marines. There's one good connection there. Tanks are just wailing away on the Roaches, and out comes the GG from PSosa to give Tux his first win of the series. Very nicely done, holding off that incredibly gimmicky play, if I do say so myself, out of PSosa there. To give himself that first win and perhaps gain a little bit of confidence here moving into game number 4 as he tries to catch back up and actually pull off something good here.
Do you think that gives you confidence though? Because like PSosa went like really fast roach drops for no apparent reason really except to entertain us. I'm not sure why he went that. Like it's not a good build, and I'm pretty sure PSosa knows that. Like, I don't think that kind of plays in his standard repertoire. At all.
No, absolutely not. Like I was saying before, I really don't see PSosa as like a cheesy player. I guess he thought he would be able to catch Tux off guard, but I think Tux was a little bit more active about scouting the third base there, and he was just ready. Opening up with 2 barracks early like that, while it hurts your economy, it definitely is a pretty good play when you're trying to defend a 2-base play coming out of a Zerg player. So, working pretty well for Tux Reno in game number 3. But we'll see. PSosa is almost definitely going to go back to more of his standard play here for game number 4.
I think so. There's a few. He seems to really like those early roaches just to get him into that late game. Tux really hasn't really shown a propensity for any real early hurlback pushes that every Terran seems to love doing these days.
Yeah, we haven't seen it yet. He's not really a huge fan of the Hellions. I mean, in game number 2, he had a nice amount of Hellions out there, but in the other games, he really sort of stayed away from them. So we'll have to see. Tux is ready. PSosa is ready. Game number 4 is just about to be ready, and that's going to be on Bonnie Research Station. What do you think about this map?
Great map for Zerg. Good map. Actually, it's a good map for most of the races, but a really good map for Zerg. Especially Zergs with like really good mechanics and good creep spread. It's impossible to attack them. Like if you're up against a Zerg who has good creep spread, all of a sudden creeps like to halfway on the map. It's really thin, so you can put overlords down the edge of the maps, and you can just see everything that's coming towards you. It's really hard to attack into them. Having said that, though, it's also really good for Terran mech. It's pretty easy to secure 4 or 5 bases as a mech player. Terran. Not that Tux is a mech player, but yeah, good pros and cons for both Berg.
Well, let's see what Tux decides to do here as he spawns in the top portion of Vonnie Research Station for Team Composite, taking last game, game number 3 here when his life was on the line. We'll see what he can do in game 4. It is Tuxerino.
And in the bottom of Varney Research Station, looking to advance to the semi-finals, it is All Inspirations PSosa.
So I like what you said there about how this game or this map could be pretty good for a Zerg player. It's one of the only new maps where the third base is relatively easy to defend, which is what Zergs love here because most of them want to get that third base. Only being able to come in from 2 different spots, and you can easily have an Overlord or this little lake here to spot anything coming in from that little secret hallway here on the left. So. Yeah, like you said, it's pretty good, pretty easy for PSosa to get up a third base and drone it up even because the rush distance is also really long and can be spotted pretty early. So you know when you have to stop making drones.
Yeah. Do you think PSosa takes this? He is moving a drone down there now, so never mind that question. Takes this outside base as his natural. I know some Zergs were experimenting with it. Not sure if they still are.
It's pretty good against, or when your plan is to go with an early attack because the base is just closer, so your lings have shorter rush distance. But on the same side, it's also pretty good if you want to be really defensive and defend your second base hard, so then your third base is just incredibly easy to take. So I've seen a little bit of both, but I think overall it's just easier and technically safer for sure to take the space on the inside here.
Fair enough. Reaper coming out for Tuxerino. He's been favouring 2 Reapers in 2 of the games so far, except for that Catalina game going multiple Reapers. Don't think we'll see that this time around at all.
No, and we are seeing a revert back to the gasless style here from PSosa. I suppose he has some time still to drop a gas, but I think he would have by now. So,
Yeah.
going to be focusing on queens and drones here early on.
This Overlord is very ballsy, just blindly assuming that Tux was going Reaper and not a Marine first. I like going Marine first on this map as well, because if you can get out and deny some Overlords, it's impossible for the Zerg to know what you're doing. It's a really good map for it, because there's not really many places you can hide. Like, you got to travel over some pretty open ground for quite a while as a Zerg player. So,
yeah,
really like a cheeky, even just like a Marine into Reaper, just enough just to push the Overlords back. Saves the drone. Good micro.
Yeah, that was close. That drone was 1 shot away from going down. You do see the 6 lings coming out here for PSosa.
Yeah, no speed, so he really needs to use these lings to push this back, and the queen as well.
I think he's doing a good job so far. I think he lost 1 ling. Actually, there's still 6 on the map, so no, I don't think he did.
He didn't. Lost nothing. Second Reaper has joined up with his brother to wreak havoc on the Zergs. Quick third CC again from Tux as well.
Yeah. Well, so on the same, the same thing goes for a Terran player though, where the 2 bases are pretty easy to defend. So I like this a little bit more on this map, even though PSosa is probably expecting it again. It helps him out because it's tougher to just sort of say, okay, I'll just go kill you then, because it's really easy to defend the main up this ramp, especially from Broaches. So, gonna lose one of the Reapers though. Second Reaper going down as well, and all he saw was the gas guys are being made.
Yeah, didn't see the natural at all, so he's got no idea where the gas is being mined at all from the natural. Yeah, so it's quite an early 2 gas geysers here, and taking a third base. I'm intrigued on what he's going to go for.
You know, my hunch now is we're just going to see a straight up macro game coming out of PSosa, because he hasn't even fully saturated his natural yet before he takes the third base. I think he just wants to get the third up nice and fast, get up to 3 base saturation, and start a lair soon. I mean, he's got the 100 gas. I'd like to see the lair get started now.
Yeah, he's sending these lings out on a patrol, and that's what I really know PSosa for. He's something I really noticed in watching his play in previous games I've casted of him. He's very active with lings on the map, and with lings and units just active on the map, looking for stuff, looking for drops, trying to catch drops out. Something he's really good at. He's taking gas guys to 3 and 4 now. Has a Roach Warren and double Evo Chamber. I'm not sure if these are actually for roaches or if it's just going to be for safety roaches, just in case. We shall see. No link speed started though, so perhaps it will be some roaches.
Yep, I think so, and we see the double Evo chamber as well. So I think this is really going to be like a 3-base 1/1 Roach. He's probably going to get a Hydra Den as well, I think, and go straight up into to Roach Hydra. Although that's me just purely assuming this build looks scarily familiar to the way I like to play my ZVT. So that's just, it seems natural to drop that Hydra Den soon.
+1 missile started as well, so he's looking to go Roach Hydra. I like that he's got the Queens on the ramp, on hold position. He even just saves that drone.
Yeah, and it's pretty hilarious how these 3 roaches that are popping up will actually do a pretty good job shooing away these 6 Hellions. Yeah. Especially coupled with these Queens as well. So going to be able to push back those Hellions. Meanwhile, for Tux, he is starting 1/1, going into bio. 3rd command center is done and pumping out SCVs. He's getting his 2nd and 3rd barracks as well. And we're going to see a pretty standard macro game here. Roach Hydra versus bio.
There's Banshee added here for a little bit extra DPS. A few roaches are turning around. They do get a queen, which is nice. Doesn't lose anything either. Needs to probably hang around though. Wants to stifle this creep spread.
It's pretty annoying for PSosa to have to shuffle his queens around. It's going to take him a while to get back on top of his injects here. But with the roaches out now, and is the Hydra Den started yet? I don't see it. No, but he is getting spores this time. At his 3rd, at least. And his natural.
Yeah. Has a spore at his natural. And one in his 3rd. And main. He has spores everywhere. He has enough spores. I think. A few more roaches on the way. Still just droning up. Looking to take quite an early 4th base as well. I like it out of PSosa. Got no idea what Tux is doing either.
No, he's just sort of banking on his macro here to get him through the game. He does still have Lings out on the map to try to catch some sneaky stuff here. As some more Hellions are coming down, they're actually going to spot that 4th base. And that's a little bit poopy here for PSosa because now Tux really kind of understands where his mindset is at. There's also 5 drones in this geyser in the main here. It's bothering me, so hopefully he takes care of that pretty soon. And the Hydra Den is on the way. So PSosa here is just going to play a defensive game, defend his 4 bases. I say that as he moves all his roaches across the map, by the way. But I think this is just like pseudo pressure because he wants to max out on +2/+2 Roach Hydra and then just do so much damage with it.
Yeah, he's real hard to bust up here. Like it shouldn't be able to bust through this wall. Having said that, he does get a depot down.
He's in here. Oh my god, he's coming up here. He's killing a lot of SCVs.
This shouldn't be happening. If I'm brutally honest, this shouldn't be happening. It is though.
Yeah, and I mean, even the gas guys are probably going to be coming down. PSosa not really paying too much attention to this attack either because everything he gets here is just bonus gravy, right? Because like you said, he wasn't expecting to come up here. There is a drop from Tux.
Yeah.
Picking off the
queen and some drones.
But the reinforcing roaches are eventually going to be able to pick this up. The roaches are still alive here in the main. There's literally 1 Hellion left, and now they're trickling in. Marines are 1 by 1 here, but it looks like this is eventually going to get cleaned up. But PSosa has really set himself up. He's got 70 workers against 37 for Tux. He's doubling the income. But this drop is continuing to be really annoying, picking off queens everywhere.
He's even going to get a few more drones here. Really annoying.
Yeah, another queen pops here. There's 1 Hydra that's just really all PSosa really needed. And now he's got to pay attention to that because that drop has really been pulling Tux back into the game here. PSosa still has a pretty firm hold on this game so far, but with Tux's drop micro being pretty good, I mean, that's what he has to do to catch back up. So PSosa's mini-map awareness has to be on point as we know we're going to be seeing drops like crazy coming out of Tux to try to come back in this game.
Yeah, PSosa doesn't have the greatest Overlord spread, and that's kind of the way you lose with Roach Hydra. You get kind of just dropped to death.
Yeah.
He needs to really get those Overlords out along the edges of the map, along the high grounds where he can spot these drops and adequately prepare. Because if he can adequately prepare, he should be right to defend them.
Well, this first drop is flying right over a Zergling and right past an Overlord. The second one on the left is maybe going to be missed by that one circling. We'll see. If PSosa doesn't seem to have noticed it yet, he does expect pressure, but he's not really. I mean, he's got these spines coming down, but they're not going to be done in time unless Tux takes a break here.
Yeah, he's splitting up his army now. He's got a bit of army at his fourth, a bit of army at his natural, along with some spine crawlers. I think he's well prepared to defend this one this time.
Yeah. Nice move there from PSosa. I guess he just was a bit more of a delayed reaction there, as he was easily prepared for that. On the left side as well, Roaches and Hydras in position, not going to be able to get any drops down here. And I love this move by PSosa, getting static defense all over the place. To sort of just have to babysit his bases a little bit less.
Yeah. He's getting Infestation Pit now. Probably looking to get Hive. Probably 4-3-3 and Vipers, I think.
Could
Not
be.
sure if he's going to switch up into Broodlords or anything like that, or Ultras. I imagine it's going to be for Vipers.
I think so as well. I'm not the biggest fan of Broodlords against a bio like this, because, I mean, Stim is just so brutal against Broodlords, and Ultras too, even. I mean, there's going to be a lot of Marines on the field, which are nice, but if they hit 3-3, then it's still going to be pretty tough for the Ultras to really get in there. And I like what Tux is doing here, taking a step back, playing defensively while he just has his drops along the outskirts here, waiting to pounce.
Yeah, 3 factories building, really going heavy on the tank. We should probably make the Vipers or the Broodlords pretty good choices from PSosa. Scan comes down from from Tux. Spots the army, which is nice. And adequately prepared. I even like the depots as a wall. Really defending up, making use of these siege tanks to the best of his ability.
Absolutely. The depots are the bane of the A mover who tries to just A move into the army. See right here, the Roaches and Hydras are fighting the depots instead of anything important. And the tanks are doing so much damage here. There's even tanks on the high ground that could be sieging up. And PSosa is losing a lot of his army. He's still able to push forward though. Hydra damage is so good. But I think eventually this is going to be cleaned up. I don't know. The tanks are dying incredibly fast, and both players are going to walk out of this battle pretty injured. That being said, a drop has landed in the 4th base as well, but Tux is actually just going to go ahead and GG here.
Yeah, I'm not sure the GG was quite needed, but he does anyway. He taps out. It was double the army supply. The third was about to be broken.
I mean, it was definitely not looking like super happy fun time for Tux there, but I don't know. Like tanks could have been in production. I don't know. I feel like he still had a chance there, but you know, Tux is the one who's playing the game, and he didn't want anymore. So, PSosa coming out strong and taking the series pretty quickly here, 3-1 in the first round of 8. He's going to move on and play against. It's going to be Stark. PSosa versus Stark in the round of 4 is going to be a ZVZ for the ages.